If I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna talk the law. Let's talk about it. But before I begin, for those who may not know me, I'm a Texas trial attorney. Y'all see the law license on the wall, signed by the 9 justices of the Supreme Court. I was minding my business. I was drinking my water. And somebody said, go live real quick. We might have a mistrial. We might have a mistrial. We might have a mistrial. Let me share my screen right now so we can jump right into it. Let's see. So right now we're waiting to see what's really going on. Shout out to Tia. I wasn't going to get on today, but Tia said, get on today if you can. I said, you know what? Let me see. So I see we have some drama in the court. Somebody say order in the court. Yes. So apparently a witness is on the stand named Wooney Lee, and he mentioned not once, but I believe twice, that one of the defendants are in custody. He didn't mention it on his own. He was handed a document by ADA District Attorney Hilton. She gave him a document, but the document she gave him was supposed to be redacted. It wasn't redacted. He read the document. It said free Quay. And we all know Quay is one of the defendants in custody. So this has happened multiple times. And the judge finally said, I'm denying your mistrial with prejudice. That means the case will be over forever. But I will consider granting a mistrial without prejudice, meaning that the case can be retried again if the state chooses to. So now the defendants have a choice. Do we sit in jail for another year or two, waiting for a new trial? Will the judge give us a bond? Or will we roll the dice and say we don't want to motion a mistrial with prejudice, so let's keep going. Let's see what the end is going to be. So the judge is really calling the defendant's bluff. Y'all been asking for a mistrial. I may give y'all one right now. What you want to do? So for the last hour, the court has been in recess, and it was giving the defendants time to talk, like all of the attorneys to talk. Now, some may say mistrial. Some lawyers may say, hey, let's do the mistrial. Some may say, no, we don't want to take that chance. But I wonder if they cannot agree, will the judge consider severing those who don't want to stay? Meaning, I'm going to give y'all a mistrial. Y'all are separated now. And y'all will have your own trial at a later date, maybe with some of the other defendants that are still waiting. But the ones who want to keep going, we will keep going. So now I'm sure it's some, drama going on. Somebody say Love and Hilton had an argument, and Keys said, yeah, it's going down in history. Kim House say it's trouble in paradise. Not trouble in, come on. They said they don't agree. Wow. And I mean, I get it. All of the defendants are not similarly situated. Some may have different positions. Some may want to get home immediately. Like, no, I cannot sit in jail another year or two. I want this trial to keep going. Yes, I know the state messed up, but I want to keep going because I cannot sit here. I have family. I need to get back to work. I have fans, music to produce. A few more years, I won't be relevant if I don't get out there soon. My kids are going to be grown up if I don't get out there soon. So I know now it's some serious stuff going down. Somebody said the jury was sent home. So let's see. Let's see.
For the day.
This is insanity. Wait a minute. Wait. Did they wait a minute? Hold up. Did they cancel court? What? Hold on, y'all. Tia, we need some info. Wow, did they literally just cut the stream off? Oh, they said that Love cussed Hilton clean out. She just left, like she literally walked off. Whoa. What is going on, y'all? This is insanity. This is insanity. What is going on? My bad. I might be still muted. I mute it sometimes so we don't the feed doesn't interrupt. But what's going on with the confusion in the courtroom? Wow, y'all. Let me see. What is the shout out to Thugger Daily? What Thugger Daily saying? Wow, y'all. Judge cannot continue to fix their mistakes anymore. Entire case is a sham, a waste of money. This is insanity. Uh-oh. Judge called the attorneys back to the bench. So are they still there right now? Let me see, y'all, if the cameras come back on. If the cameras come back on, we can wow. Y'all, I don't even know. Not a release party. I'm watching the feed Yellow Jacket 2024. Yeah, I'm looking law and crime. It's just showing a blank feed. Let me it's just showing like a blank feed. It's not nothing else. I just got this one paused here just to see. God is good. Said they're all out of order. Yeah, okay, let's go. Let's go see if we can figure out what exactly happened prior that caused all this confusion in the courtroom. I mean, the judge is like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. So I'm gonna go back. So we can see. Y'all, this is crazy. The case might be over. And Hilton is trying to say that she had nothing to do with it. You know, it was the witness' fault. But Hilton, you handed him a document and told him to read said document. And what was on the document was something that was not supposed to be read out loud to the jury, yet you had him do it anyway. So eventually we have to quit playing the, oh, I didn't know game. I mean, you didn't know the first 50 times the state did it. I mean, eventually the judge is going to have to put a foot down. But the judge kind of slipped up today and said, you know, she told the state, y'all sloppy. I'm trying to save y'all. I'm trying to make it to where everybody didn't waste 12 months of their lives. Okay, Judge, so we're not following the law anymore. We're trying to save people from wasting time. I mean, it comes a point in time when you have to stand on what's right. Oh, no jurors tomorrow. We might be done with this case, y'all. We literally might be done with this case. I'm going to go back. I'm getting the timestamp so we can see when so apparently it was two separate exhibits. One exhibit was put up on the screen and one exhibit was handed to the witness. And the exhibits should have matched. There's no way you should be putting one exhibit on the screen and then giving the witness another exhibit if you're having the witness testify to the exhibit in his hand, because that could be misleading the jury if you're giving him one thing and the witness one thing and the jury another thing. They said they called in the county clerk, Jen R. Ron Braun said they screwed up big time. Yes, he was reading what she told him to read. Man, I'm telling y'all, Hilton bought as slick as love. She just undercover with hers. I mean, because what the first one happened when she was saying that, what's your relationship? I believe she was asking the witness to identify his relationship with the defendants. And he was like, well, right now, you know, one of them's been in jail. So I don't, you know, it's been a while. She said the whole DA's office fired. So I'm sure right now they're probably bringing in the whole team in what they call the war room. So I'm sure they're going to bring in Fani and Love and Abate, the other appeals attorneys, to see what they can do to change the judge mind. All right, yeah, we're gonna go to the part. And it's a little bit difficult because the stream is still moving. It's not officially turned off. So, but we're gonna get as close as we can to what really caused this.
Even if our position ever come down to being back to back, that's just how we're gonna rock out against whoever with you.
All right, y'all. So this is the picture she put up that Hilton put up on the screen. But apparently there are some hashtags. Let me see if I can get here. There are some hashtags that's really under here that they excluded out. But apparently in the document Hilton handed the witness, the hashtags are still there. And I think that's what the problem boiled down to. Let's see.
All right. And are there some hashtags?
No slime left behind.
All right. And is that an emoji next to that hashtag?
It looked like a crazy emoji. I never seen that.
Okay. What's the next hashtag?
2 B's.
Do you know what that signifies?
Big business.
All right. And what else does the rest of it say?
Many more blessings and riches, I say.
And is someone tagged?
I don't know who that is.
Sorry about that. Y'all see right now, she's having him read hashtags. And we see some of the hashtags right here. Big business and what else? 2 B's and NSLB, whatever that means. Let's keep going.
There's somebody who made some clothes.
All right.
Real feel. I don't know who that is.
Okay. And what else does the rest of the post say for the record?
Thank you for this exclusive ass hat and for this crazy ass one of none hoodie.
And then someone else tagged.
Somebody named Marilyn is totally responsible.
Okay. And when was this post posted?
2020.
All right. Now, the verse that you quoted, your verse, what song is that from?
Dang, I forgot about it. Dang, I don't even remember.
Okay.
I really don't. I think, is it What a Love at?
And was that a song that came out before 2020 or in 2020?
It probably came out in 2020.
Okay. And in looking at this picture, do you know where you and Mr. Stillwell were when you took
At
it?
the studio.
All right. And do you have a particular studio that you used to go to?
No.
Okay. Where was this studio located?
I can't remember by heart, but it looked like geez. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I remember.
All right, that's fine. Course indulgence for one moment. Ms. Westmoreland. What does no slime left behind mean?
I think that's just what it means. No slime left behind.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as 37 and admitted, excuse
Oh,
me.
that was my mixtape name. That's why he put the hashtag. He was supporting my mixtape.
Your mixtape was No Slime Left Behind.
Yes.
What made you name your mixtape No Slime Left Behind?
Like the No Child Left Behind thing that's in school.
Okay.
I just named it that. No Slime Left Behind.
And when you were talking about slime, who were you referencing anyone particular?
No, not nobody in particular. No, I just wanted to be different. I just named it that.
I'm going to publish 37 NN. Who is in 37 NN?
OG Boo.
And who is that?
Shannon.
All right. And can you read for the jury the caption?
Read his caption.
Yes.
Said ain't nothing more compatible than a trench. A carbon while in the trenches.
And then is there a hashtag?
Hashtag no slime left behind. Hashtag 2Bs. Life size.
And is there another hashtag?
Free Quay.
Okay, hold up. Okay, now we see. So I remember it was NSLB, no slime left behind, and then 2B. So it was actually this picture. Okay, but look, he stopped and she said, "Is there another hashtag?" And the other hashtag said "free Quay." So I believe that's the issue that drew the motion for mistrial.
Life size.
And is there another hashtag?
Free Quay.
Is there another hashtag on the screen?
Oh no.
Your Honor,
It's in this paper
Your
right here.
Honor.
You got me reading.
Your Honor, I have to make a motion.
All right, I'm gonna excuse.
I
you
wasn't
for-
looking at the screen. I was looking at this paper.
That's fine, don't worry about it. Can I ask you to step outside for just a minute? And jury. I'll excuse you all for just a minute.
My thing is, why did she give him a paper if it was already on the screen in front of him? No.
Mr.
What y'all think
Step
about that?
outside for a minute for me, please. Thank you.
That looked kind of intentional. He stopped reading and she went out of her way to tell him, "Is there another hashtag?" So I want to know, did Hilton do that on purpose or was it an accident? Did she slip up? I mean,
Your
how
Honor,
many
we're making a
accidents can you
motion for
have?
mistrial on behalf of Mr. Nichols.
Oh, let's go back.
We're not going to be, Your Honor. Your Honor, we're making a motion for mistrial on behalf of Mr. Nichols. We're not going to be able to unring this bell. Your Honor, this is the exact same issue that while we were at the bench, I brought it up. It was Exhibit 37NN that the hashtag, there was a hashtag on that exhibit that said free Quay, which would definitely indicate to the jury that Quay, has spent time in jail or in prison. The state agreed. We stipulated that they would redact it. And then the state presented, I guess, to the witness the unredacted version, didn't prep him to not comment on it, and he did. And Your Honor, before we had the opportunity for you to preside over us, this happened already again. And I made a motion for mistrial. Now it's happened again. So now the jury has repeatedly heard about Mr. Nichols being in jail, being in prison, and you cannot unring that bell. We would ask for a mistrial.
Your Honor, Carter Matthews for Mr. Marquavius Huey. We join in that motion for mistrial. And what's important for this court to know is that 45 minutes ago, there had been a reference to a person being in jail. Now, this witness has identified Marquavius Huey and has also identified Marquavius Nichols. So all the state had to do was ask this honorable court for an opportunity to have this witness maybe step out of the courtroom and go over with that witness that, we don't need to say anything about someone in jail, what have you. That did not happen before he went on the stand, nor after that first slip up by this witness. There may have even been a document right there on the witness stand.
Y'all heard what the attorney said, Attorney Matthews. He said even after the first slip up, this is his second time he mentioned someone being in custody. The state should have went to him and said, "Hey, witness, You cannot mention that the defendants are in custody. Even though we all know they're in jail, the jury is supposed to not know they're in jail. They're not supposed to know that because it goes against the presumption of innocence. It's bad character evidence. So this is the second time that he mentioned that they were in jail by saying freeway. And then I'll go back and find the other one earlier when he mentioned it the first time. So that's why Mr. Matthews is saying, okay, this is enough. Let's go back a few seconds.
He went on someone in jail, what have you. That did not happen before the courtroom and go over with that witness that, we don't need to say anything about someone in jail, what have you. That did not happen before he went on the stand, nor after that first slip up by this witness. There may have even been a document right there on the witness stand that should have been pulled from the state of Georgia from that witness stand so that this could have been avoided. So, Your Honor, we are joining in that motion as well.
Oh, hang on. It's all right. You just didn't know, but we'll let you know when to come back in, okay?
So we join in that motion, Your Honor.
Your Honor, and I just want to briefly add that it is painfully obvious that the state is not prepping their witnesses. You can tell by the way when the witness spoke the first time and he said, oops, am I not supposed to say that? Like, oh, I had no idea, which makes it obvious that the state had not spoke to him, had not prepped them. And this has happened repeatedly. It's happening over and over again, Your Honor, and we're just not going to be able to unring 100 bells.
And finally, Your Honor, Mr. Marquavius Huey, it's been established that that his nickname is Quay.
Okay, isn't there going to be, we talked today about, isn't there going to be a stipulation that references to Quay, at least at some points, are not either Mr. Nichols or Mr. Huey? We did.
Yes, Your Honor, and that's a few things. So one, Your Honor, it was not intentional because we clearly.
Okay, but it was sloppy because I presume he's reading from the document that you handed him instead of reading from the screen.
So the judge is pretty much saying it's sloppy. You did sloppy work, Hilton. This is not your first time being sloppy. You were very sloppy throughout this whole trial. You and Love, and it's led by the prosecution team of Bonnie Willis. Y'all sloppy. And you gave him a document. And then not only did you give him the document, he actually stopped reading. And you told him, what else does it say? What's that other hashtag? Like you really wanted him to read that, and now you're throwing a rock and hiding your hand. So let's keep going. Go back a few seconds.
Intentional because we clearly.
Okay, but it was sloppy because I presume he's reading from the document that you handed him instead of reading from the screen.
And we should have instructed him to read from the screen, but.
Or you should have presented him with a document that had that part redacted. It's just sloppy.
The issue came while he was on the stand, Your Honor. So the issue did not come prior to. Ms. Westmoreland walked up to me while he was on the stand and said, I'm going to have an issue with that. Can you redact it? That is when the state became aware.
Then it should have occurred to you, you know what? I'm handing him a hard copy of this document that is unredacted.
But not if there's multiple Quays, Your Honor. If I don't know which Quay that.
Hang on. Can we stop having people come in and out when I've asked the witness to step out and every time the door opens, they can hear what we're talking about? Please, just for a few seconds. I'm not asking anybody who's in here to leave. God have mercy, y'all. Huh?
The state is in charge of the witness, and they're supposed to be guiding the witness to the room.
Hold on, did the judge say like Lord have mercy or something like that? Hold on, let's go back.
Anybody who's in here to leave. God have mercy, y'all. Huh?
Oh, it sound like he said. Sound like he said, God have mercy, y'all. Let's keep going.
The state is in charge of the witness, and they're supposed to be guiding
She's sick.
the witness to the room.
And so that is the point in which we learned of it is we redacted it on here. Ms. Westmoreland brought it up here.
Yeah,
And when
and
I
you
came
didn't read it. So the
But I
jury
said-
didn't see it, but now the jury has heard it. I don't think it is really that, much of a crisis because there is going to be this stipulation that Quay is not always either of these defendants. So, nor is it obvious to everybody that free whomever is such a quote about who knows, everything these days. And so it doesn't necessarily indicate that whomever Quay spent time in jail or in custody or in prison or anything. I mean, they say it about, Hollywood stars who are in a breakup. It's not so obviously, oh, this must mean this person was in prison. But
I want to know who says free a Hollywood star when they in a breakup? Like, who says free them when they break up? That don't even make sense. I don't know what the judge is talking about, but I just found it strange that she said that. Yeah, that was a big reach. You mean you say free someone that's in jail, maybe free them till it's backwards or something like that till they out of jail, but not somebody in Hollywood is having a breakup. That's really crazy. She said that. But the judge gonna try to clean it up. Where her mop bucket at?
Hollywood stars who are in a breakup. It's not so obviously, oh, this must mean this person was in prison. But also, we were already saying Quay isn't either of these people. So let's just, and whether this was one of these people or I don't even know who it did refer to.
And we don't know because it's not his post. He was reading someone else's post. So it could be a multitude of Quays.
You talked to his attorney earlier, right?
Yes.
And did you get any kind of an indication? I don't know if this was one of the things you were going to, but it's an issue now. And you said before lunch that you were going to ask Mr. Rubin.
Yes, we did ask.
Do you know at this point whether the free Quay referenced, this wasn't even his post, was it?
It wasn't. And it wasn't an issue until Ms. West. So when I talked to Mr. Rubin at lunchtime, this wasn't something I was going to address with him because it wasn't I did not realize it was an issue. Mr. Rubin found out for me that Slack Quay is not either of these two Quays.
Okay, but this isn't Slack Quay. This is just Quay.
Right.
I know. So why doesn't everybody, well, they don't know how it's spelled. They only heard it. Why doesn't everybody just enter into some sort of a stipulation that the free Quay or the reference to Quay just now isn't either of these people?
I don't know if it is. So it was.
Whether it, okay, so.
Your Honor, the state can enter stipulation that we weren't referencing any. We as the state of Georgia.
Okay, that is not a reference to, if you would prefer that.
I don't know what the poster is referencing.
I don't honestly really care what the poster was referencing. What I'm trying to do is fix your sloppiness so that everybody won't have wasted, 10, 12 months of their lives in this trial.
All right, y'all. I found it interesting for the judge to say that, especially to say that out loud, because right now you have people's lives on the line, and we're interested in justice, not about time being wasted. The time wasted is unfortunate, but you have to follow the rules. You can't say we don't want to waste time, just keep going. No, you have to apply the law. And I believe that a mistrial, was warranted and with prejudice, but let's keep going.
Yeah, we can come up with
Okay, do it now.
Who? Do it now. But Jiggy got a point.
Y'all work on that. I'm going to take 5 minutes.
Why don't you grant a mistrial? Oh, y'all, I found the other part right quick. Let me see if I can go to it. Let me see real quick. So this is actually the first time he slipped up and mentioned that someone was in jail. This was before he just made this one. This was the first time.
like, if any, with him.
Now?
Oh, let's go back a few so we can get the context.
And what is your relationship like, if any, with him?
Now?
Let's talk about before now.
Oh, we're cool.
Are you still cool now?
I don't know him right now. He been locked up for a couple of years. Well, I ain't supposed to say that.
Disregard that.
Okay, so y'all, that's the first time he had said that he's been locked up right now, and it's letting the jury know. Now the judge should have stopped it, dismissed the jury, and told him or had the attorneys tell him you cannot mention someone being in custody. But they just said keep going, and guess what happens when you don't correct someone? They can do it again. But Hilton should have known better. And that's why I think Hilton probably, did this on purpose. But let's jump back over to see what the judge said once she came back out. Because when she came back out, she pretty much gave them the ultimatum of, what y'all want to do. So I'm going to find that little piece. All right, let's see if this is it.
What have y'all come up with? All right.
Wait, hold on, Matthews. Before you say we have a stipulation, F, Judge, once you rule on our mistrial,
Right.
on my motion for a mistrial.
Okay, so are you asking, what kind of a mistrial are you asking for?
Your Honor, I believe that we were goaded into the mistrial.
Okay, well, I do not believe that, because if you had seen Miss Hilton's face when that came out of the witness's mouth, she was appalled. And I do not believe that they are purposefully trying to insert error into this trial to make y'all ask for a mistrial so that they can try this case again. I think it is continued, and I am sorry, y'all have, this gigantic, ginormous universe of evidence that maybe if you narrowed down, you would not be making these kinds of mistakes. But I believe that to be a mistake.
Your Honor,
So I'm going to deny a motion for a mistrial with prejudice. That one, I don't believe that the facts bear out.
Okay, so right there, the judge basically said that I'm going to deny a motion with prejudice. With prejudice means it's gone forever. You can never bring it again. The prosecution can never retry it. Fonnie Willis can never say, hey, I want to give it another go in another year. But the question is, will the defendant sit in custody if she gets a chance to retry the case? And I don't think that'll be fair if they have to sit in jail to give the state another shot. But what the judge is saying, the state will get another chance to retry them if she grants a mistrial without prejudice. Let's keep going and see the rest. But I don't think that Hilton, she said that you should have saw Hilton's face. You can be a good actress, a good actor. You can say something and be like, oops, I didn't know that was supposed to happen. Come on. So, Judge, you cannot go by her facial expressions, but what you can go by is her past behavior and the state's past behavior. And they have displayed a pattern of continually to break the rules every time they got a chance. So let's go back a few seconds and finish this
So
up.
I'm going to deny a motion for a mistrial with prejudice. That one, I don't believe that the facts bear out. Would you like a mistrial without prejudice?
yes.
You would? Who else would? That means, of course, that the state would be free to try every one of y'all again.
Y'all heard that part. She denied the one with prejudice, but she's considering without prejudice, meaning they can bring the charges again. But the thing is, who wants to sit in jail another year, another 2 years without bond, waiting on the state to get their case together? And we already know, even if they sit in jail another year or two waiting for a new trial, it's going to take another year to try the case. So they could potentially be giving the state of Georgia another 3 years of their lives without even having been found guilty of a crime. So some people are saying that the state is broke. They don't have any money to retry the case. But what if they pretend and say, we want to retry the case, keep him in jail for a year or two, and at the last minute, withdraw the charges? So it's a tough decision. But let's finish this up.
That means, of course, that the state would be free to try every one of y'all again.
Judge, just a moment.
Sure.
So y'all, what should they do? If this poll started, I don't know if it worked. What should they do? Should they do a mistrial now and then worry about the future later? Or should they just say, you know what, we know they made a mistake, let's continue with the trial? What do y'all think they should do at this time? Oh, thank you, Blue Skies. That's really kind of you. You're asking, can they get certificate of review, send her decision to the Supreme Court? Well, that could be a possibility. The only thing is Judge Whitaker has to sign off on the certificate of immediate review. And since, I mean, the case will be over, I don't see why she would not, but you're still gambling because you don't know what the Supreme Court might say. The Supreme Court might say the plaintiffs, which are the prosecutors, they are representing clients. They do have a right to bring their case to court and let a jury decide fairly what the outcome should be, not a single judge by granting a mistrial. So that's really dicey. I mean, you're still rolling the dice. But, you know, that's that. But somebody, you know, I think they're winning. Somebody said, I think they're winning. Lisa Key. I mean, this is tough for me. If I had a client that's been sitting in jail for as long as Young Thug's been sitting in jail, I believe somewhere close to almost 3 years, this would be really tough for me to go to him and say, let's do a mistrial, and you might have to sit in jail another 3 years, especially when you think that you're winning. I mean, we're winning. Why would we quit trial now and give the state time to know our strategy, learn our playbook, watch all of the YouTube videos? They're going to know all of our techniques. So the next time they would have a better chance of defeating us. They're going to watch all the film. So I don't know if I would feel comfortable giving the prosecutors another chance to win the game. So let me fast forward. So the judge she eventually came back out. Trakeisha McNeil. What about Jeffrey speedy trial Tommy? I mean, the thing is, I don't think his speedy trial rights would be affected because they had a trial. And it just so happens that a mistrial occurred. So now, as the process go on, you got to have time to prepare for a new trial, maybe even new lawyers, because some of these lawyers probably cannot start over. They have other cases, other clients, they have things already scheduled into the future. And some of the lawyers may be ready to go. They can't take it another 2-3 years, and they may need to switch counsel. So you're going to need time to prepare. So I don't think that would be an issue, considering if the judge said that the state did not do it on purpose, which I don't agree with that. I mean, because Hilton clearly told that witness, what does the hashtag say? He stopped reading. He read some of the hashtags and then he stopped on his own. So some people are saying that Wooney Lee probably did it on purpose. He read it on purpose, but he actually stopped on his own. But she told him to keep reading. So I think if the Supreme Court was to say, okay, that's the case, then it's a mistrial with prejudice. You don't get another bite at the apple being the prosecutors. You don't get to cause a mistrial and then benefit from the mistrial by starting all over again. No, if you cause a mistrial, it's over for good. And I believe this happened. What's that actor name? Was it Alec Baldwin? The prosecutors withheld evidence in his case, and the judge threw out the case with prejudice. She said, you can never bring this case again. So that effectively sends him home for good. He don't never have to worry about the prosecution coming back in 5 years, 10 years. What this case is, 2015 case, 15 years later, prosecuting him is gone for good. And we see that could happen because the DA before Fonnie Willis refused the case when he was the DA, and all of a sudden Fonnie Willis get in office all these years later, and she reaches back all the way to 2013, 14, 15, and prosecute a essentially dead case. So I think that a mistrial with prejudice should be the best outcome. Let me finish this up. I don't want to hold y'all long. The judge came back out so quick. Let me see if we can find it. It's almost like she came out and just like walked off. Oh, y'all, let me see if I can find it. Maybe it's on a different feed. The judge thing, you can tell she was upset. Miss Westmoreland, she asked to approach, and whatever she said when she approached was not good. The judge didn't want to hear it. Let me just switch over to this feed. So the judge comes back out.
All right. Ms. Westmoreland,
Thank you, Your Honor. May we approach?
you may.
All right, let me see really quickly in what the poll looking like. I don't even know if I can see it. Oh, wow. Okay. So 67% of y'all saying that take the mistrial, deal with it later. Okay. Golly, that's crazy. 67%. And 32% is small number saying continue with the trial. Wow. Okay. So do y'all understand that if a mistrial now happens, that Young Thug can possibly be sitting in jail for another year or two, or maybe longer? Now, if the judge said to me as the attorney, I'm going to give your client a bond while y'all prepare for the mistrial, or if I grant a mistrial, then okay, now we can play ball because my client will be at home. He can work, he can be with his family, watch his kids grow up, get his life back. But if you tell me that my client has to sit in jail while you let the prosecutors retry this case, okay, now I have an issue with that. But it's up to Young Thug and the other co-defendants what they want to do, because at the end of the day, it's their lives. It's not the lawyer's life, because the lawyers, we go home at the end of every case. We get to leave out the courtroom and see y'all tomorrow, but guess where Young Thug and other co-defendants have to go? Back to a jail cell. So let's see if we can get to the end when the judge finally comes back out, and we can wrap this up. So she came out like abruptly. Judge is upset. I don't know why. If who's to blame? Anybody to blame is the prosecutors. You literally held their hand the entire trial, and now that they did something that's bad, now you upset. Yeah, I want to get to the end. Okay, here she go. Here she go. Here she go.
For the day.
Yeah, and that was essentially it. She literally said, she literally said, we're done for the day. Y'all, so that's the issue. The biggest issue, I believe, the lawyers will have to figure out and decide amongst themselves what they really want to do. If a mistrial is granted without prejudice, I feel the defense is getting punished. The state is still not being held accountable. And that's exactly what I believe. Because guess what? If they continue with the trial, no, we don't want a mistrial, judge. We want to continue with the trial. What is the incentive to stop the state from doing this again? We have what, 70, 100 more witnesses. They can keep doing it over and over again with no fear of punishment. So I think it is in a bad signal. I'm gonna drop the link really quickly. If anybody want to come up and have any comments they want to add, y'all more than welcome to do that. If not, we're gonna jump back on this thing tomorrow and see, what the end gonna be. And then from somebody said that the jury is not coming tomorrow, so maybe they're going to really consider, the judge will really consider, and maybe we can do a hybrid. If some want to stay, you can stay. If you want a separate trial, you can not go home, but you can get away off this case and have your own trial later in the future. Oh, okay. Somebody had hit the link. What's your cash? Oh, thank you, Tiff. I'll drop it in the banner. Thank you, Tiff. Anybody want to come up before we go? Before we go, I'm not gonna hold y'all. Anybody want to come up? I see you, Key. Key, if you can want to go out and come back in. If not, Key, let me redrop it for her. I'm gonna redrop the link for you, Key. Shout out to Jiggy. Jiggy say freedom boys. Hey, Star, do you mind turning on your camera really quickly? Star, or yeah, court is done for today. Star, can you turn on your camera really quickly? I just need to verify that you're. Oh, Star, she didn't want to do a camera. I just needed to see that she was a. Hey, Key, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, hello. How are you?
Do I need to turn my camera on so y'all can see me and then turn it back off?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're good.
I just want I got in the chat late.
Okay.
I just kind of heard you say, she said something about court done for the day. But this is my thing. What I noticed, like with Whitaker and her patterns. Every time they call for a mistrial, she'll excuse, okay, I'm excuse you, boom, 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 boom. They get to talking and stuff like that. And before she make a ruling, like before she say denied or grant, well, what she don't say granted. She'll say, I'm just about to take me a break for 5 minutes and I'll be back. Like,
right.
I feel like, she going in to go call somebody or she talking to somebody to see, if she making the right call. Like, it's never a time with the mistrial. Like, if we go on now, every time that they have called for a mistrial, it's always going to be y'all talk up amongst each other, y'all hold up and, y'all figure this out or woo, 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 and I'm going to take a break. I'll be back in 5 minutes or I'll be back in 10 minutes. And like, when you come back, you're going to always come back with some type of justification, like the reason why you feel like XYZ, like, you get what I'm saying, why you shouldn't do it, or you try to give the state some type of leeway. And like, I just feel like, she's answering to somebody. Maybe it's Glenville that she answering to. Maybe, maybe it's Fanny, whatever her name is. Like, it's somebody that she's answering to that's causing her to, when she come back, she have some type of excuse for the state to where she's not going to grant that mistrial.
And I think she actually said it out loud today. She said, "I'm trying to fix your sloppiness."
I'm trying to fix you can't fix one thing about it, baby. You is the gatekeeper, the overseer, or whatever you want to be, the 13, 14, 15 juror, whatever it is that you are. Like, you cannot tell these people how to do their case. You cannot tell these people how to do their case. Like, when you see that they messing up and all this type of stuff, and like, you seen what just happened, like when dude got on and said the first time, "Oh, I ain't seen him because he been locked up for all these years." One thing about these people, them people be smart as hell. Them people watch this trial. They study and see what would get this case to be thrown off. So for him to get up there and say that, and he say, "Oops, like, am I not supposed to say that?" They answering him some more stuff. He goes back to say, "Hold on, I got a question. Was I not supposed to say that?" Like, because these people watch this trial and they see what y'all have going on. Like, in their mind, they don't want to be labeled as rats and snitches and stuff like that. So I'm finna go. I mean, if the shit was on the other foot with me, and I know if I done did some bullshit to somebody and it's being publicly viewed and stuff like that, I'm finna go see, like, man, what can I do to fuck this case up? So you get what I'm saying? So my testimony won't even come all the way out or something, like. And I feel like, that's what's going on. Like, okay, Judge, before they even said anything like, "Oh, Judge, I have a motion," like, this the first time when it happened, like, she just bust out and said, telling the jurors, like, to disregard what he just said or whatever like that, whatever she said. But you telling them to disregard his statement, what he just made. But it's the truth. The defense ain't even really, I don't even think they said nothing, like, when that first happened. And when Westmoreland told Hilton, like, about the problem, that, to be careful about the problem made occur, like, Hilton, you still gonna do a goof truth. Like, she still gonna do it. I'm so sick of her 70s dressing ass. It's a shame. I'm so sick of
her. I mean, and the first time it happened, I think the lawyers, they left it alone, because sometimes when you object and you draw attention to something, that makes someone really think about it. When a judge says, "Forget what you heard. Okay, now I got to remember what I'm supposed to forget," and now you're really focusing on it. So the lawyers let it slide. But the second time, not only did he say it the second time, but he was prompted to say it by something she handed him that she had no business handing him in the first place. And not only that, he stopped reading at that point, and she told him, "Hey, what does the other hashtag say?" And then he said, "What did it say?"
No, because it was another hashtag. Like, you can tell on the screen, like when we synced it on the screen, you can tell like something was like had been taken away from off of that part. But then on the other side, it did have a hashtag, like, I want to say after that sign or something like that, or the little green thing. It was another type of hashtag, like, that was right there. But once again, you put this paper in his face, and his paper is probably matching up with the same thing, and and he reading from this paper. But then you asked him, "Is it another one? Is that the only one you see is another one?" "Oh, free Quay." I'm thinking he's saying it to be funny. Okay, you see that on the side? Well, you see why where it's like white out, then it got the green thing, and then it say hashtag booking riches on the way. So maybe
right there, it's whited out.
Yeah, that part is whited out. So, but she handed him that paper. So she ain't never say, "Hey, look at the." She said, "Look at the screen." Once she realized that he said what he said. "No, I want you to read from the screen." But bitch, you never told him to read from the screen. You only said that when it was the next time, when you realized he read from that piece of paper.
Yeah, but it was strange that she would give him a piece of paper. Hey, Jashawn, if you don't mind clicking your camera on and off right quick, Jashawn. I see you backstage. But it was just strange that she would tell him to keep reading, knowing that she handed him the actual paper. If she knew that it was going to be on the screen in front of him, there was no reason for him to have that paper in his hand at all.
Correct.
And I don't even know what the significance was for her to tell him
Because you know what I think, like
Rich.
with Hilton, like, you know, we despise Miss Love, and like, I'm not gonna say like I hate her, but I be want to use that word sometimes, but I'm gonna say despise her like very bad and firmly, because I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like, you know, like, not on no racist stuff or nothing like that. And, you know, no disrespect to the other cultures and, you know, races and stuff like that. But like, we black people, and it seemed like y'all are black people. Like, I'm talking about Hilton and Miss Love. I'm gonna say Adrian. Like Caleb Bumpy say Adrian. But it's like y'all are fighting so hard to put these black people away, then y'all do for another person. Like, you know, I don't want to talk about that, but you know, y'all, it's like y'all fighting so hard, and it's like y'all have some type of motive to where like y'all like y'all don't care whatever it takes. Like, I don't care if I keep on messing it up, because one thing I do know, she ain't finna grant this mistrial. She probably not already getting paid off behind that. So she ain't finna grant this mistrial. So no matter what we do, and no matter how much we get criticized and talked about, we know she ain't gonna you know, grant this mistrial or whatever. But like, I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I want to get back to Adrian and Miss Hilton. I feel like Miss Hilton is not as bad as Miss Love, and Miss Hilton know that they are doing fuck shit, and it's like, you know, her heart is probably like not designed to, like, you know, do all the messed up stuff that they doing, and
Can
it's
I
like,
ask something?
yeah,
Hello?
you can talk.
What I want to ask everybody that's in the chat too. What about the 5 dead bodies in this case?
Somebody in the discovery that they was talking about.
No, in the case there is 5 dead bodies. What
Oh,
about
baby, I
them?
heard about 2. Well, I'm
What
gonna say
about
3
their
now.
family? What about their family? What
Hey,
The
about
who
them?
family?
And what about their family? The 5 dead bodies.
Mr. Jashawn. So what I will say, I think it's an echo. I'm gonna mute
Hold
real
on.
quick. Hold on, I'm gonna mute right quick. So it's an echo. What I will say is a mistrial without prejudice means the state can bring the case again. So I believe that the judge is saying we're not going to throw out the case completely, but we're going to give them a chance to represent the case, so they can still
listen
get
to this. Saying free Quay is not grounds for a mistrial. She's upset with the prosecution because the prosecution case is all over the place. They have way too much evidence for Miss Love, Miss Love, who's been in the business for a long time, to be having a case that goes on for 2-3 years. It's way too much evidence, and she was a prosecutor. The judge, who's a judge now, she knows this, and she all through the trial she telling Miss Love, "What are you doing? Why are you doing it like this? But you just don't let killers go free."
But do you agree that she has given the prosecution more than their fair share of chances?
Put it like this. I'm gonna say this because I really can't do this when you got, like, I be in the chat that's on Law and Crime, where you got 20,000 idiots who think you should just let killers go free. I know they young black dude. I'm a young black dude. But you don't kill your brothers and sisters, then expect to go home. What is y'all thinking? Why is this so hard to wrap your heads around?
Well,
regardless to who they are.
Go ahead. I'll let
you don't get to kill your brothers and sisters and then say, "Oh, I want to go home, go free." Okay. Come on, man. What planet are we on?
Well, and I believe that's what the jury will decide, the guilt or innocence. But right now, we just pretty much should they get a new trial?
10 years ago, when this was going down, I'm not even from Atlanta. When this was going down, I learned about it through them online. They was talking about it. Who's they? Jeffrey and the rest of them. They was online talking about it. I learned about Nut through them. I don't know why people forgetting that this shit was online 10 years ago. But
Yeah,
all of a sudden, because I know the beef that we have with the system, because people think we was living under some constitutional law. What we was living under is admiralty maritime law. We was considered dead vessels inside any courtroom. So I understand our beef with the court system, but this is how I see it. We harming each other and killing our brothers and then expect to go home free is not the answer.
right. And I understand what you're saying, and I don't want to get too far down the line as far as the guilt or innocent phase because we're not there yet.
It ain't no look, I'm not here to trick myself, or I'm not here. Y'all can continue to trick yourself. A guilt and innocent. The guilt was proven when it was done. They let everybody know who did it. They was online saying who put that work in. So we can kid ourselves and look for a loophole. Oh, he said free play. Oh no, throw the trial out. We can do that. But that's the maritime law. That's the trickery with the law system. That's why they kept us in jail. Because you could do trickery with the law system under maritime law. What you're watching right now is the retraining of judges and attorneys. Nasara Jassara was implemented. And you're watching the retraining of judges and lawyers. Constitutional law is back in effect since 2020. So that's what you're watching right now. That's why it's so much back and forth with the technical part of it, because you're watching the retraining of judges and lawyers. Them boys not never coming home. You got 5 dead bodies in this case with them idiots.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us. I definitely appreciate your take.
It ain't a take. Research it. It's not a take. Research. Do research when you want to give others information. Do the research. Something that, I mean, on the real, go to law and crime and look at the idiots. That this is what we teaching people who come in to look and to learn. We just giving them a bunch of bull.
Somebody say you
do some research.
Somebody say you need therapy.
Yeah, I need therapy because I know mostly the majority of the population is still thinking this was a constitutional law. Our course was constitutional law, but if you do research, you'll find out that it was maritime morality law because it's law of the sea. Our courts are like banks, was banks until they implemented the constitutional law. Just research it. That's all I ask.
All right.
Think what you want to think, but do the research.
I got you. Well, thank you for joining. We have like 5 people in the back. I want to give them a chance to come up, but thank you for giving your insight. All right. Okay.
Am I still on mute? Oh,
no, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Keith.
Oh, Jesus. I was trying to keep on inserting myself. No, this is what I want to say. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, hey, I always say this. Do I think they guilty? They may be guilty of some things, but the thing about it is, like, I can say, I mean, I ain't gonna say I can say. I'm trying to see how can I put this. Like, people do stuff all the time, and like, you know, a person can know you did something, but if you don't have no proof of evidence or evidence that I did something, how can you say that I'm guilty? I don't care. I don't care if I made a million songs and said I killed this person, I did this, I did that, I sold drugs and I did this and I whatever. But if you don't got no evidence that I did that, how is you gonna prove that beyond a reasonable doubt? Like, that is the thing. Y'all keep talking about, all this evidence and like, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? Like, this go back to the man that was on stand. Is it what, the GBI or something like that with the cell phone stuff? Shannon and Yak was in that car. We ain't seen nothing about them 2 phone records.
Yeah,
but remember,
it's a lot that we still haven't seen yet. Right. It's a lot we haven't seen yet. I know that when I spoke to Moontunk not too long ago when he came on the stream, I mean, he said himself that even he was, arrested falsely. Not only he was arrested, but I believe Woody and a couple of others was arrested for the murder of Donovan Thomas. But obviously they dropped them murder warrants and dropped those charges. So now we're back at square one. I don't believe the state really knows who did it. They just
They
really
don't.
picking somebody.
Wooden and came in and poked so many holes in them folks' case about that murder. It's a crime shame. They don't know.
Somebody
And this everyday stuff that goes on. This everyday stuff that goes on. I was just gonna say something to I read that come. His wife is a Thug fan and he don't like got to be. Or he one of they people. Like and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to justify and say like, oh, it's cool. Oh, they done made one hiccup or two or five or 100, and they should be free. No, because at the end of the day, like we all human and we have family. Like we will want justice for our family.
Right.
But at the same time, if you got the wrong people prosecuting your stuff, baby, you ain't gonna never get justice. And it's clearly showing that the ones that they got in position to prosecute this case are not the ones that need to be trying to handle it, because if so, they won't have all these mess up and these are all these mistakes. And Hilton, I feel like Hilton know that, they got a lot of BS going on. Of course, she got to roll with it because this is her job. But if you look at it, she's the one that always going up there poking something up and messing something up.
Yeah, her and Love too. Love be messing up.
Yeah, Love do too, but Hilton got more poke ups with the mistrial than Love do. It's like
oh, go ahead.
It's like Hilton know, like I say, Hilton know that they on some BS. Like, you feel what I'm saying? And she just know, just like that Germany letter. Love, we know you wrote that thing and you done and put these folks up, and now you just wonder, you know you losing, and we the people and the other people said too, the jury said too, and you want to come up this old faulty little letter and make it seem like something, and Fanny you too. And I'm gonna be so glad when they get her, cause she going down. How you gonna be sitting up there sleeping with a man, then he go to these folks and he just spills all the beans? Girl, bye. Like they say, laid and paid.
Not laid and paid.
Laid and paid.
I do want to thank Miss Jane really quickly for the 5 TalkThatLaw membership that was gifted out. So if y'all did get a membership, y'all don't mind telling Miss Jane thank you. And I do see, some of y'all already telling her thank you. Thank you so much for the gold membership that you gifted. That really helps support the stream in the channel. So thank you so much for that. I believe we had Keys Mobile. She was trying to come up, but something had happened with her stream. We also got Miss J. I'm gonna let you up, Miss J, and you had something you wanted to add, and also Pink Adjust if you want to go after her.
Who's going up next?
Oh, you can go. I mean, you
hit. Oh, okay. I'm riding in the car with the young lady that just got off the mic. First of all,
still here.
For him to even come in here and call us all a bunch of idiots was disrespectful. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm 65 years old. I'm not nobody's idiot, and I do research. The point we're all trying to make is I've been following this trial since day one. They have yet shown me one person sitting in that courtroom who they're able to actually pin any of these deaths on. I get it that there's 5 bodies and all of that, and I feel my heart goes out to those families, but you don't get to just put people away in jail because you assume that they had something to do with it, or because somebody else is saying one thing that you want to hear. The trial, to me, I think it should be a mistrial. And I'm not a lawyer, but I've worked for many lawyers, and I do study law a lot because I do love law. I don't think, even if they did a mistrial without prejudice, this is just my opinion, I don't believe they're going to be willing to bring most of those guys back to retry them again, because we have to first look at the amount of money that has been spent on this trial. Second, we have to look at the fact that Fani Willis's reputation is going down the drain rapidly. So all of that's going to be taken into consideration. And I don't know if any of you all were on Miss Sylvia's channel today. You know, she's in the courtroom. And supposedly it was said that if they do take the mistrial, Thug would have to be let go because they would not be able to give him the speedy trial that he's requested. And also they said that the judge informed them that the retrial would have to be done within 5 days.
Well,
is
that,
what.
well, that's not a bad deal if the retrial is going to happen within 5 days. But the thing is, if it's going to happen so quick and you're
How are they
already
going to?
winning, why not just keep going with this trial?
Right, because think about it. There's no way they would be able to get a whole new jury within 5 days.
Yeah, that won't work. Not even nowhere close would that even would that even be considered
No,
working. It took, I believe it took how long to even pick a jury? It
10
took,
months.
right. So how you gonna pick a jury in 5 days? So that definitely can be within the realm of possibility from anybody's standards. So I don't know what the disconnect is right there, but I doubt that can happen.
And I have to agree with you as to what you were saying to the young man that was so angry. he was angry.
He
He was
said
angry as
everybody in
hell.
law and crime. He said all 20,000 of y'all. I said, what law
He's
and
a
crime
bunch of
did
idiots.
that?
But I believe this
Goodness.
judge, she's just giving the state way too much leeway. I mean, if we all went back, how many times have they asked for a mistrial, and every single time she comes up with an excuse for the state? Oh, I don't think she really meant that. I saw the look on her face and she looked disgusted. Okay, that's not those young men's fault. They should not be held responsible for the states and all the mistakes they keep making. And I just think this judge, it's time for her to be recused also. Period. She's incompetent. And on that note, I'm gonna let somebody else get up because that young man really upset me calling us idiots.
I'm glad that you came in and spoke and gave your I would say your take, but he said, oh, it's not a take, your insight. Yeah, thank you so much for coming in, and I definitely appreciate it. And you
You're
say
welcome.
you're in the car right now with Key?
Oh,
I thought you said you were in the car with somebody. Maybe I had it mixed up.
no, and let me throw this out there real quick. I don't know. I'm quite sure everybody knows that Big Meech from the Black Mafia family was released, and they briefly interviewed. He did a real brief interview, and he said this trial is an outright joke, and it was brought out for all the wrong reasons. This was political. This was all about a promise that Fonnie Willis made to the people in Georgia, and she's trying to live up to that promise. This case is, Big Meat said that there's nothing about this case that says RICO. This was a bunch of young guys. They were babies out there just doing stupid crap, but they were not an enterprise by no stretch of the imagination. They were not an enterprise. And anybody with any type of intellect knows they were not an enterprise. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I definitely appreciate it. Hey,
You're welcome.
Real quick, Pink Adjuster. Let me say this real quick. Thank you, Kevin Trotter. The state is doing their job. All these people talking are wrong. Thug is not innocent. Thank you, Kevin Trotter. And I do understand that we will have different opinions, and we're not going to all agree. We're not robots. Some people think he's guilty. Some people think he's not guilty. I'm just following the process itself. So I'm not, going to block somebody. I see people were saying block the last guy that was speaking because I didn't agree with him. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, and I don't want to shut anybody's voice down. I know some other channels do that, but I don't like to do that here. But thank you again, Kevin Trotter, even though I do not agree with you, but I definitely appreciate it. Pink Adjuster, you had something you wanted to jump in and say?
I just have a question because we watch Paige, right? And everyone who was watching Miss Sylvia or watching Millionaire Mel this morning, because you watched the whole trial, in the beginning, she lied. She knew the state lied. And it was, to me, I feel like she's trying to save herself. So why isn't the defense able to go to the Supreme Court of Georgia on the fact that you literally can see in real time that she knew the state lied, she helped them with the lie. She was caught in her lie. Then they pulled the stunt again this afternoon. You're caught again in your lie. Why? How is she able to keep punishing the defense and no one does anything? Like, I'm not understanding why that's being allowed, or why that's even how she's even able to do that.
Yeah, well, the Supreme Court, they give the trial judges great deference. They're not there to see the demeanor of the witnesses and what's going on behind the scenes. They can only go by the record. So I can see that the Supreme Court not doing much about that. And we also got to remember the Supreme Court takes forever. Do y'all realize that Brian Steele motion when he went before the Supreme Court because of his contempt was just decided the other day? Was it yesterday or the day before?
Yesterday.
We know how long it's been since Brian Steele was taken into custody by Glanville, forever.
Right.
And the Supreme Court is just now seeing that. So I don't think it'll be something that the Supreme Court would jump in and say, hey, we're going to stop this. They're going to let it, play out and see what happens, because it might be that they're found not guilty and there's nothing for the Supreme Court to do.
Okay. Because I was watching her this morning. I was like, don't she know she lying? And everybody saw this like in real time. And then, Abasi, I think that's her name. She literally told them to work out this stuff off the record, but then come to her and say, y'all need to start putting this stuff on the record. How do you tell them to do something and then chastise them or try to attack them for doing what you told them to do, except the state didn't do it in good faith like they were supposed to? The state lied to Abasi.
Yeah, and I mean, all of this stuff can be memorialized in writing, and that's why we have the court reporter. So the court reporter can take down what was said, 2 weeks ago and what's said today, and they can compare, contrast, and the appeals court can sort it out later. But I don't think the Supreme Court would just jump in mid-game and take over. Yeah,
so your profession. Okay, so because I think I'm lagging. So your professional opinion, do you think they need to keep going, or should they stop?
Well, it just depends on what they have at stake behind the scenes. I do not think they should be sitting in jail for another 2 or 3 years, but it's really hard to say. I'm going to mute you really quickly. It's a lot of feedback with your mic, but I don't understand. I have no understanding of how has the jury treated this case. Are they rolling their eyes when the state's witnesses are talking? Are they folding their arms when Love's talking? Are they shutting them off? And that can give you an indication like, okay, they're going our way. But if they're all looking, you got 12 faces and they all looking like guilty, okay, maybe a good time to say, okay, mistrial. But I say if they can stand it, and I believe they've been putting on a good case, I say keep going. Let the be done for good. Don't chance it and do a mistrial and say, well, maybe the state will try me again. Maybe they won't. Maybe they don't have enough money to try me again. Who knows? Maybe they'll cut their witness list in half and do it that way. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to what Young Thug and the other co-defendants decide. And maybe their interests are different. And if that's the case, maybe she can sever some of the defendants. If y'all want a new trial, y'all can get a new trial later. Those who want to continue, y'all can continue with this trial. So I think that's an option as well.
So so with that, Westmoreland said she was fine with a mistrial without prejudice. So all of them were talking amongst each other. So if she's fine with that and the rest of them aren't, isn't that going to, I guess you could say, cause animosity? Because Harvey has been trying to get Nicholas off this case since it started, basically.
Right. And I mean, I don't think it'll cause animosity because at the end of the day, they're not friends. She has the duty to advocate for her client. I mean, you can't be friends with everybody in the courtroom. The only friend you need to be worried about is the person sitting next to your client. So I think, if you don't like me because I'm doing my job, I took an oath to stand up for my clients. So I don't think I don't see it that way though, because even when they came back, I think she had said, Matthews, before you say we stipulate, see if the judge would grant my mistrial. So I think they were all kind of still talking. I don't think it'll be any, beef, if you will, behind that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
those are my questions.
Thank you so much.
I'll holler at you later. I've been rocking with you for a minute. I missed the t-shirts. the t-shirts.
Yeah, I need to get back on that. Hopefully you be popping, you pop in more. I know you be jumping in other people's chats. So I'll be like, what Pinker just
you be
I know I
Cause
don't
I
be
had
here
to
every
find
day. I
out
gotta
what's
work.
going on, man. You
I
got to
know,
work.
I
I
know.
got to work
I know.
today.
You're
I was
right.
busy, man.
You're
Today
right.
I was stuck on mute all day today. But
Right.
but yeah, man, I'm still here. I'm still
Okay.
here.
All
I'm
right.
proud
Good
of you.
to
I'm
see
proud of you. You getting your likes up, everything. I love it. Just
All right.
all
Thank you
right,
so
man.
much.
I'll
All
let you
right.
later.
Have a good one. All right. Who want to jump in? Was it Keys? Where you go? Keys and left again. Oh no. Oh, I didn't even see her. What's going on, Keys Mobile? Keys, can you hear me?
Hey, yep, I can hear you. Hey now.
What's going on? I didn't even see. I thought you were already up.
No, I was waiting. I was listening to the good comments. But first I wanted to say I knew this was gonna happen when we were in the chat yesterday. We was kind of talking about it. But I don't think they can read. I'm on the fence as far as whether they should take the mistrial or not. But at the same time, they keep repeatedly doing the same things and making the same mistakes. So I mean, what can you do? And as far as Thug, what rights do he have? Because I agree with the previous person was just basically saying, why are they always the ones that has to what's the right word? Basically suffer from the other side making mistakes, like
Yeah.
legally.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the defense should be punished because something that the state did. And let's give Hilton the benefit of the doubt. Let's say it wasn't intentionally, even though y'all did it 20 other times. Let's just say this time wasn't intentionally, but your behavior, your past behavior precedes you. You've done it plenty of times before. So whether you did it on purpose or not, at this point, it really doesn't matter because now you are infringing upon the rights of the defendants. And you got to have a fair trial for both sides, the state and the defense. And I don't think the defense is getting a fair shake. We seen it with Dennis. If Dennis came in saying that he was in prison, in and out of prison, and he was a seasoned detective, and the judge did not stop the trial. At that point, she could have stopped the trial. So I think she gave them plenty of chances to get their act together. And I don't care how many faces Hilton might make, like she's shocked. Oh, I didn't know. Oops, my bad. I didn't know I handed him a paper that actually still had that on there, even though he didn't need a paper because he has a screen. We see it right here. He has a screen right in front of him. But I'm going to hand him a paper anyway. And it just so happens to be the non-redacted version. And I'm going to ask him to read the hashtag. The next hashtag, not she could have said the very last hashtag. What's the next hashtag? And it happens to be the one that said free Quay. And obviously, you don't want to give bad character evidence to let the jury know that the defendants are in custody. That can it's almost as if they're coming out in trial wearing an orange jumpsuit. They will automatically look guilty in the eyes of the jury if they're sitting there handcuffed and in jail clothes. So you supposed to have the presumption of innocence, and what comes with the presumption of innocence is not appearing to be guilty either by your outward appearance or by people saying that you're in custody in jail. I know somebody had asked that, so I had wanted to just put that out there. But yeah, Keys, this is crazy. This is crazy. Where do we go from here?
Right. That's where I'm kind of like stuck at. But I mean, it's like gambling with your life. But at the same time, I don't think like it's still taking a gamble if they go on with the trial. Because how do we know that the jury feels like the defense is winning? That's my only dilemma as far as them taking not taking the mistrial and writing it out. That's like still a gamble.
Right. And trials are always a gamble. So even if they was to do a mistrial and get a new trial, it still would be a gamble with the next jury that comes behind them. So I don't think, that's the gambling part will be off the table. The only thing you'll know for sure is if you have like a plea deal where you know for a fact this is what you're going to get. But outside of that, and you go to trial, I mean, anything's up in the air when it comes out time for a trial. So I think they won't be in any worse position by continuing this trial or by accepting a new trial. The only thing I believe is they may be held in custody. I don't trust Judge Whitaker enough to give them a bond, because when they asked for a bond when she first took over the case, she was like, no, off the top. She didn't even give them a chance to put on evidence of why they should be out. She was like, no. So that's why
So
that's the
do
only
you
thing I
think
have to lose.
if they don't take the mistrial, are they able to ask for Hilton and Love to be no longer on this case?
I mean, though they filed motions for that, but that was kind of, I think the judge already decided on those motions that she wasn't going to kick them off the case. And then the judge just said it now. She don't even think it was intentional that what they just did. She said that she don't think Hilton did it on purpose. You can see the look on Hilton's face, according to the judge. So I don't think she would kick Hilton off the case for doing something that she said herself was not intentional. So I don't think that would happen. And to be quite fair, I mean, do we really want them gone? Because we saw when what's the Atkins and Abate, is that his name?
Yes.
Those two wars out. They will put anybody to sleep. So you need Hilton and Love in there, low key, quiet as it's kept. You need them in there to keep our attention, because them other lawyers weren't doing it. But at the same time, they can't be in there just messing up and doing what they want to do. And it's probably they've probably been doing this for years. This is the first time it's actually caught on camera and for the world to see. So some people like, you have experience, why are you doing that? They are doing what they used to doing. But now we have cameras in the courtroom. Now it's like, we're getting caught.
And I just think that Whitaker has told them over and like they don't have a case. And for her to say that blatantly to their face, like, oh, this is circumstantial, but if they want to go with it, I think she's been like, she's been telling them in so many words and they just aren't receiving it.
Hey, can I say this real quick for the people that's backstage? If y'all don't mind, like turning y'all cameras like on and off real quick so I can see y'all. Just making sure y'all what we call real people, so they know spammers in the chat. Okay, you're good, Brian B. I see you. Thank you.
And I'm gonna step down so some other people can get in here.
I see you, okay, thank you so much.
I just wanted to say that, and I wanted to address real quick the guy that was saying the 5 dead bodies. Like, I'm speaking from my journey. And if it was your child or any family member, you want the right person to be prosecuted. So yeah, we understand that there's 5 dead bodies, but you don't want 5, this group going to jail for 5 people that they did not, we still don't know if they're guilty or innocent. But okay, thank you, Talk That Law, and I'm gonna drop that.
I have a question for you. Do you mind really briefly, if you don't mind sharing perhaps your personal journey about you and your son? I don't know if you want to share that so Javon can know you're speaking from a place of experience, because he just wanted to he want them to go to jail for 5. He's saying 5 dead bodies, but you still want the right person.
Right. And just real quick, yes, my son was unalived, and a year later, charges were brought against the people that were involved. During that 2-year process of going back and forth to court, the charges were dismissed. Now, I totally did not agree with the charges being dismissed, but at the same time, I want the right people to be prosecuted for my son's unaliving. So I would have to basically, the choice is, do I want the right person in, locked up, or do I not want the right person? And for me, I want to see the right person locked up, even if it takes however long. And so, yes, that's my oldest son and I want justice for him, but I just have to keep up the fight, but I would never want anybody to keep dragging me back and forth in the court, because every time you come in court, the things are rehashed. And as a mother losing a child, you don't want to keep reliving certain things unless it's necessary.
Wow. Well, thank
Basically.
you. Yeah, I definitely appreciate you sharing, because sometimes people, take things for granted and they're on the outside looking in, but you actually went through this process, you experienced it, and you know that sometimes going in and out the courtroom can bring up all of those memories, and you got to relive it only to get the case dismissed in the end. And that may be the case with these families. They've been sitting here waiting for justice, but the more and more they listen, the more and more they may say, okay, maybe these guys did not do this, and maybe we have the wrong guys, but the prosecutors drug us in court under the belief that they had the right people.
Right. And then sometimes they have their own motivation, and like here, when it's when you have all hands on deck, it's usually political. It's usually, oh, this was egregious enough to where they, by all means, we're going to just keep this in the news. We're going to try to make something happen. But they use people in that process, so you don't want to be used, and you do want to have a say so. And just as far as, I'm going to just use Nuts family, my condolences go out to that family. But they've been dragged through the mud, and they've been dragged in this courtroom without concrete evidence. And, when it's your child, you're kind of, you hear street stuff and then you hear the court stuff. But regardless, you don't want to come into a courtroom, and especially this type, with the the media and stuff involved with this case, and so many people involved. That's just a lot. So my heart always went out to them, as far as them having to be, put in the position they're in. And then along with that, with all the attention that it's bringing too.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Keith. I definitely agree. I do think that sometimes prosecutors will use families, drag them in, even if they really don't have nothing to do with the case, but to bring in the sympathy, bring in the crime family, bring in, the photos showing the decedents, just to get a rise out of the jury, to get a conviction. So I really think that's not right for the prosecutors to do that. But thank you so much, Keith, for sharing your story.
Yes, no worries. And one more thing, to the people in the bushes, I am not angry at anybody. I think we should all be able to voice our opinions and not be told what to say. And Talk That Law takes, he works. So when you come over here, hit the like button. It's nothing to hit the like button for. That's all I was saying. Hit the like button. I was saying it's so many people in here, and I always say that. And I don't think it matters who was here first. We're all trying to support him.
Yes, thank you so much, Keith Mo. I definitely appreciate that. I know you always support the stream, and you're a member of the channel. So thank you so much for that. Definitely appreciate
Yes, no worries. And I'm going to drop down, and I'm always here.
Okay. All right. I'll be talking to you. Thank you. All right. Let me let y'all up. Thank you. I don't even know. Can I? Wait a minute, let me move this right quick so I can see. Oh, go ahead, Brian B. I didn't even know you were up. I asked Star and Black Butterfly.
No worries, man. Thank you for putting the platform out, and great show, man. So thank you first. I just wanted to bring some attention back to day one. There were 2 motions for mistrial when the state put up bad character evidence on the PowerPoint slides. It seems to be an ongoing thing with the state that they just keep trying to slip this in accidentally. I think I counted 42 motions for mistrial in this. Some of them are, Judge Glanville things, and they just seem to keep doing it. On top of that, the judge has already ordered the prosecution team to go to Brady violation training due to some Brady violations that happened And then on top of that, 4 days ago, there was the detective who had made that bad character evidence slip as well. But yeah, and then I posted in the YouTube chat about the what's that called? The speedy trial and the motion for a mistrial. But it's going to be interesting because the state just revoked Muntunk's his parole. So they're losing witnesses as they go along in this trial because of their actions. But so that's all I got, man. I want to thank you for everything, and
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
drop out and make room for somebody else.
Oh yeah, well, thank you. But before you go, I definitely thank you for calling it out. The very first day during opening statements, they showed Brian Steele's name, and they weren't supposed to, but they said, "Oops, it wasn't intentional. Let's move on." This was on day one, so I think you really brought out a great point. And then Dennis came in, and Dennis, the detective, he mentioned they were in custody. That was another issue, and you also said that she sent them to a class in the middle of trials to have training. Seasoned prosecutors need to go to class. So I think that the judge has done more than her fair share. She literally bent over backwards. I don't think they bent this far over in the Olympics. But somehow Judge Paige Whitaker managed to bend all the way over backwards for the state. So I know some people in the comments saying that it was just a mistake, but how many mistakes do you need? So thank you so much, Brian B, for pointing that out. I mean, you had some really good points.
Yeah, man. Thank you again. Yeah, I think doesn't matter which side you're on. I think everybody just wants this to be a fair trial. So thank you again, bro. I'm going to drop out to you too.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Okay. Who want to go in the Black Butterfly or Star?
Yeah, I just wanted, I just had a, oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I just wanted to, I really only came up here for one thing, but I do want to circle back to the other guy who was saying about the 5 unalivings, but I only count 3. And I'm not saying like only, but I just want to say there's the Shamel Drinks, there's Donovan Thomas, and then the guy with Lil Rod, I forget his name, but I don't know of the other 2. So I think that I know that the one girl, the Tierra girl, but that wasn't their unaliving, that was the YFN side. So I just wanted to correct that one thing, that it's not 5, it's 3. And then and the reason why I wanted to correct that is because I think that's misinformation. I don't think it was 5. And then even with that so far, and I was always on the fence about Lil Rod, but after these 2 days, I'm wondering, did he really do it? Because right now they got two different shell casings. They know that the one guy, Bally or whatever they call him, he had a gun, and then the other guy, is his name BJ, he had a gun. So that's 2 guns. So when did Lil Rod have opportunities to have done it? Now, was he there? I don't know, but they have to exclude someone, and then 2 people have admitted to having a gun, right? So then we get to Donovan Thomas, and then all of them are in trial, but it sounds like there's someone else. I don't want to be accusatory, but from what I've heard, it doesn't seem as though those guys in there have done it. And so we still got Shamel Drinks. But there's enough doubt there with these other 2. So it's like when you speak on things, it seems like this guy, I don't want to bash him. It seems like he's speaking from the heart, and he really meant what he said. I don't want to say I want to bash him, because everybody has a right to their opinion, like you say. But it's like, if he's still in the chat, just put everything into a broad perspective. And if that were you, is that how you would you want everybody to say, oh, he did it, and there's no proof that you did it, and in your heart of hearts, you didn't do it? So I just wanted to put that out there. Secondly, I wanted to ask you something on a professional level, as far as a lawyer. And you kind of already touched on it, but that was really the only reason why I came up here, was that, like, I'm just going to take, for example, with Sprinkle. Now the first time, it wasn't, I think he's been up there 3 times. So I think the second time, but not this last time, but the one in between. And then Miss Love was like, but they was like, we're gonna ask Miss Love not to be able to speak to him or something or the other. And she said, I have a right. And they said, you want to prep your witnesses. They met, like, take for instance with Moonton, they met with him ahead of time. They've met with these witnesses a lot. Most of them, some of them refuse. They don't want to do it. But even with Zachary, they want to talk to him as ahead of time. But they, okay, well, we're gonna lock you up because you don't. So they're making the effort to talk to these witnesses ahead of time. And one of my takeaways is that when Miss Westmoreland said they're clearly not prepping their witnesses, because if you heard Mr. Wooney Lee, I don't know what she called him that, but she said the witness, is that he specifically say, oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. So on a professional level, if this is occurring all the time, even Moonton has said something about, oh yeah, he was locked up. So what I'm saying is that on a professional level, and this is a steady trend, why wouldn't they be sanctioned some kind of way? Because if this is constantly happening, so even you didn't even learn from the first, second, third, fourth, like there's not only Dennis has got up there and said that, like I said, some of the lay witnesses have said it. So why it does seem intentional, because you have the opportunity to speak ahead of time to most of your witnesses. Why do you not ever mention that? So on a professional level, do you think that you know what I mean? Don't you think they should be held accountable for that as a lawyer?
Well, it seems as if the judge, she already said that she's trying to clean up their sloppiness. So
Mhm.
no matter what they do, it don't appear that she will grant a mistrial.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
prepping their witnesses, that can be for debate. Some lawyers like it, some don't. Because I wouldn't prefer the prosecutors to tell their witnesses what to say beforehand before they get on the trial. And I believe the situation with Sprinkle was he was already sworn in and he was already testifying, so they didn't
Okay.
want her to talk to him during the break. But before you're sworn in, any side can speak to a witness and speak to them to see what they're going to testify about. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, because you have a lot of time, a lot of lawyers that most of the time will try to coach the witness into say what they want them to say before they understand.
Mhm.
So, that can go both ways, but will they be held accountable? It doesn't seem as if Judge Whitaker, we calling her Paige, but it doesn't seem as if she's willing to do anything right now. But today, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we may have a mistrial tomorrow. She said
Right.
she would do it today, but she's going to give them more time. I'm sure Fonnie Willis sit down every DA in her office. She might be down here tomorrow to tell the
Right.
judge why a mistrial should not occur. So I will be ready to hear what they got to say tomorrow. But it seems like she has her mind made up. It's going to be up to the defendant.
Right, because think about this. Number one, she said, let me leave. I'm going to take a break. She came back and she said, Ms. Westmoreland, what's your decision?
Right.
Or you follow. So it's like, it's as if she's like, do you want it or you don't?
No, you don't. Right.
Right. So, mhm.
So she was ready to go forward with it. If Westmoreland would have said yes again now, I think she was ready to go forward with it to grant it. But
Mhm.
I think they're not in agreement as to all 6 defendants. All the lawyers are not on the same page. Some saying yes, some saying no. And that's probably why Westmoreland wanted to approach the judge outside of the camera view, outside of open court, to discuss the scenario. What if something like that happens? So maybe the judge
Right.
will go home and think about it and see what she can come up with in the event that is what is going on. They are split.
Right. And I'm trying to tell you, because ordinarily, straight off the cuff, she says, no mistrial, no mistrial. But this time she came back and said, what do you want? Now, that's what I found peculiar, because normally, straight off the cuff, no mistrial. She says it straight off the cuff and she gives a reason. But this time she asks, what do you want? And that's why I think that I don't know how she may even just split the baby tomorrow. I don't know, but I think she's tired of it now. I think
Uh,
she's tired of it.
If I could jump in really quickly, so everybody's saying, "Look at Thugger Daily, look at Thugger Daily." Shout out to Thugger Daily.
Oh,
Let
okay,
me.
but that's all I wanted to say to you. I enjoy your show. Thanks for letting me up, and I'll let somebody else come up, and I am going to just sit back and listen to you, whatever you read on
Oh,
Thugger Daily.
okay. Thank you so much for coming up, Black Butterfly. I
All
always
right,
see
thank you.
your
You
name
have
in
a
the
great
chat.
day.
Are you
Bye-bye.
too? Thank you. All right, y'all. Let me pull this up really quickly. It's so much coming in at the same time. Thank you, dear Will Christian. That is really kind of you. Always supporting the channel. Thank you so much. Let me pull up Thugger Daily Twitter. Let me see if I can go here. How about that? Can y'all see that? It says developing according to multiple sources. The defense team of the YSL case is currently meeting with Fonnie Willis at the DA's office. Somebody said, "Are they discussing deals?" Wow. Now, let's see. Oh, thank you, Tia. Tia always on it. Tia emailed me today saying, "You gonna get on?" I said, "Man, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get on." It was so much going on. So thank you so much, Tia, for always supporting the channel and for being a member. Thank you so much. So what y'all think of this? Do the DA know, hey, the judge is finna grant a mistrial? So Fonnie Willis, what you want to do? Do you have the money to try us again? Do you want to offer us a time served deal? Do the defendants even want to take a time served deal? I mean, do they really want to plead guilty to something they didn't do? I doubt that would be, because from my understanding, Young Thug is not a felon. So I'm sure that may not work for him. So this is interesting. This is crazy, because Fonnie Willis, if you don't have the money to retry them, and the commissioners are not going to keep giving you money, apparently, they are so upset that she was spending all this money on other stuff. Don't even get me going down that road today. And then they said Ashley Merchant just won her case about trying to get files from the DA's office. So this should be interesting. See, the only thing with time served, you have to, it comes with a conviction. If you're getting time served, that means you're pleading guilty to a crime. And if y'all know, like I know, Fonnie Willis will run up and down the street with that conviction, even if it's for time served and they get to go home. Just at the end of the day, I wanted them to acknowledge their wrongdoing. They'll do a press conference. She'll run up and down the street with that paper in her hand. Tonight is a party. I think she's having a party tonight. She'll be talking about it. So I'm like, nah, a conviction, especially a felony conviction, no. Now, if you want to charge, and to the gentleman earlier, if she wants to charge the defendants individually for crimes, then you are more than welcome to do that. But you can't throw a RICO out there and rope everybody together. Joe Sean, can you put the 5 people who you are alleging that were victims, the 5 victims that you said? Do you have all 5 names? Because we know of a few, we don't know of 5. So, Jashawn, if you're still here, I see your name, if you don't mind putting that. But this is crazy. Somebody said, ain't no money left. She gave it all away. Thank you so much to Miss Jane for backdooring and hitting another 5 memberships. So if I haven't seen it already, if y'all don't mind telling Miss Jane, thank you. 10 of y'all. She gave 5, and then she came back with another 5. So thank you so much for supporting the stream and the channel. I definitely appreciate it. And hopefully the people that receive those memberships, I already told you thank you. And if they didn't see it yet, because I don't know if they have to be online when they get them. But if y'all are here, if y'all don't mind telling her, thank you. That's really kind of you. They said she gave the money to Bonnie.
Hey, TalkThatLaw.
Oh yeah, hey, jump on in. Who we got?
Listen, I had a lot to say, but with this, if this is true, this changes what I was actually coming up to say. But you kind of took the words out of my mouth. Fanny's ego, she's going to make the deals. If this is true, she's going to make the deals. And like you said, she's going to run with that, go do her press conferences and say, see, I won Da da
Right.
da da da.
All right.
I
Yep.
protected the citizens of the state of Georgia. Blah blah. Please. I just find it hard to believe, though, that this was not done on purpose. Let's take a step back and remember what just happened when that letter went out. And then the fact that Love has not been in court. I think that there have already been conversations about what can they do to go into a mistrial. If we take a step back and look at all of the witnesses that Hilton has she has done on the stand, she literally, from what I can recollect, says, hey, without saying this, do this. She always has directed. So no one can tell me today that she knew he had the paper that was not the redacted version, and she did not tell him, hey, only read off of the screen. As a matter of fact, I want you to turn around like she does all of the other witnesses and look up at the screen. Read it from there. I just find it really hard to believe. I think with the combination of what has been happening, her, Love, and Fonnie had all been trying to figure out a way, like, we got to get this to go away. And then now, if what Thugger Daily is saying is true, this was a part of the plan. Because now you want to give deals?
Yeah, but my question is, will they even want to accept deals at this point in time? Like,
Right.
we're almost to the finish line, and we're trying to prove our innocence, and our innocence is within grasp. So, should we take a guilty plea right now? So,
But if she's offering up deals, that means that deals were already there to offer. But because y'all are losing so bad, in my opinion, I think this was all a part of the play. Because if you notice, like, everyone has come up and said, they have made constant mistakes since day one. But because they wanted to, even with Glanville done held their hands, and now you got Paige holding their hands. And it seems like they were just making very stupid mistakes to be well-seasoned DAs. That would leads me to believe that this was all done intentionally. It just so happened today, one stuck. Well, maybe, potentially.
right. And it just depends on, like, what type of deal. Because if it's a legitimate deal, we saw the deal that Moontoon got, and we see now he's in custody based upon that deal. So, I mean, if it's something crazy, then I would definitely walk away. Now, if the clients, if she's giving them a deal that's too good to be true, if she say, hey, y'all take these deals, y'all will go home tomorrow. We got to remember, these people been sitting in jail for upward of 3 years, and they haven't even been convicted of a crime. Y'all get to go home. That might be appealing to some of them. They may say, man, I didn't do it, but if it means me going home and not taking this trial another 6 months until next year, then they may consider it. The only thing is, sometimes certain convictions can be used as enhancements in the future. So they have to be really careful. I'm sure they got good attorneys that can definitely advise them of that. And maybe they can't own a gun anymore if they plead guilty to a felony conviction. So this is crazy.
I think I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think the only person who, Thug can take a deal, because I understand what you're saying. He's not a convicted felon, but I'm looking at it from the type of money he has. I'm gonna take a felony. What y'all gonna do to me? If I get out, I'm about to go on tour. Y'all ain't in it, but he would be a fool if he got himself back into a position to where he gets in trouble. But Thug has enough money and resources to stay out the way. Now, everybody else, yeah, that may be an issue. Because if you going back to Mechanicsville or wherever you from, it's probably gonna be hard to stay out of trouble. But Thug, yeah, I'd take the felony all day. Okay, that's what you want to give me? Cool, bet. I'm about to go on tour in the States first, then overseas. You know what I mean? I got enough resources to stay out the way.
Well,
So
some
if I
people
were
are,
Thug, I don't know, and you may feel differently about this being a lawyer.
well,
I
some
would take
people
the
saying
felony.
they're saying, well, you can't. You say the states first and then overseas. He may not be able to go overseas to certain countries because of that felony conviction.
But look at, I mean, well, so yeah, that would depend. But look at other rappers that have felonies and they're torn. So I just think it would depend upon how that would look. But hey, even if he's not able to go overseas, Thug can literally get out tomorrow and tour in the States alone.
Yeah. Look, I guess longevity is what you're looking for. He might get out and be hot, but how long will it last?
He got enough money and enough friends to make it work. He got enough resources.
So you saying he should
Thug
take
do.
a felony conviction, even though he can just finish up the trial and be found innocent completely and keep his clean record? Is that what you?
I think like you say, it's a gamble, but I think based on the way that this has gone, and then we got to think like the jurors. Do you know all of those limited instructions they have to read, all of this evidence? I don't know if I would be if a deal is on the table for me and I'm Thug. I don't know if I would sway that way. It's too much. It's too much, in my opinion. Just read. It's too much. Although it's not hard, solid evidence, it's too much at stake for. I feel like if a deal is on the table to go that route. If I were Thug, knowing the type of money and resources I have available to me, I would take depending on what it is.
Right.
Like if it's a felony and time served, I would probably take it.
Wow. Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming up. We will see. It will be interesting to see. And like I said, we don't even know what's been offered. If it's something
Right.
reasonable, we can work with it. But if it's something that's outrageous, where she can even just giving her the paper to say, yes, I was right this whole time, and he's been fighting for his innocence, can really, I think that can hurt his brand as well. I mean, you're fighting for your innocence, but now you're saying you're guilty of a RICO act that includes multiple murders. So, he got to be really careful before he consider
Yeah.
any type of deal. But Mookie said he ain't taking no deal. Trust me.
Look, I want to just say one last thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Like the guy was saying earlier, like I think Thug not innocent, right? But he not the one, he ain't the shooter, he ain't the one doing. Thug just had the money. He ain't the one that was the big bad bully that everybody was scared of. So I don't know.
So which one is the big bad bully?
we see. Look, that Shannon Stillwell and what's baby boy?
Don't say Relied. Don't do
No, not even him, because even based off of like what I heard earlier, I'm like, dang, like the other lady said, like, dang, did he really do it?
Oh,
The only other one I've seen so far is the one who I'm trying to figure out a word to say without it being who got at the officer.
Miss D said, I wouldn't take a felony if I'm Thug. Yeah. You said which person?
The one who got at the officer.
Oh, but he's severed though. I know who you're talking. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, like them the only ones I really see who was like really out being active, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even though you have an eyewitness, where that girl's story was all over the place. That Smith girl, she said that she actually saw Leroy shooting, but her story was really shaky. So,
but I feel like even with him, that was like one incident, right? The other boy, he has several. When I say like really active,
yeah,
I don't think the rest of them was being really active. And then even on the cause, this was another point I was gonna make before this came up. Even on the cause, they were on the jail cause trying to get stamped in by other gang leaders. It was never, hey, bro, tell da 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 to stamp me in for YSL. It was never that. So yeah, Thug ain't the big bad bully that everybody trying to make him out to be. He just had the money.
You said,
That's it.
yeah, you had said with the little rod, you said that was just one incident. Yeah, that was one incident, but it was an alleged murder. So,
No, yes, I don't want nobody to conflate what I'm trying to say.
right.
When I think of people being out active, I think of the boy who was out there like shooting at the cops and all of that. That's in my head. That's what I consider to be like really active.
Right, I got you. I got you.
That's all I'm saying.
What you and you see now, Woody, he's been way off the way. He's giving back to the community. You know, he's doing his own thing,
Oh.
making legit money.
Yeah, and then him too. I consider him to be but look, he didn't put everything on everybody else.
But now, to be fair, he recanted that stuff. He said that they, you know, he was lying. They pretty much forced him to do that by his living conditions. That's what he said.
And now he living a dream. He making all the money off YouTube and he being in the spotlight that he always wanted to be in. That's another thing. We heard that on the phones too. They was all pocket watching. So to me, like, yeah. But I'll drop down. Thank you so much for letting me come up.
Yeah, thank you. I always like hearing both sides of the coin. So maybe in the future you can pop back up and tell us, you know, what you think about the recent developments.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll be looking out. Have a good
Okay.
night.
All right, thank you. Same to you. All right, y'all. Oh, did Key? Hold on. Is Key still here?
Yes.
Oh, hey, Key. Okay, I didn't know you were.
I've been waiting all this time still.
Oh yeah, you good? What you had wanted to close us
I wish
out
I
with?
was in the chat when I wish I was on when people was talking.
Oh, what you
But
had?
no, I just for real. I'm just here. I like to run my mouth and talk anyway, so it's okay. But I just agree with what they were saying. And Gal that just left off, she was like about the big bad wolf. Like while she was saying it, the first names came to my mouth was Shannon and Woody. Those were the two like big bad wolves I'm thinking about. Well, she said Woody at the end, but I was thinking Shannon and Woody. Like
I got you.
being big, like being bigger than like Thug. And like she say, like Thug just had the money. Do we think he innocent? No, but you feel me? But they don't have no evidence on him. And like I always say this too, like we all have been young and we all have did stuff, but like people do grow and people do change. Like, and sometimes how it be your past will like catch up with you. And me personally, like I don't know him and then like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all don't, but I mean, I don't sense that or I don't get that urge like, oh, he's just such a bad person and he this type of person. Like I just don't get that from him. Like we all did stupid stuff when we was young. And my thing is this, like if y'all saying that they did all this stuff and like, oh, Paul Howard or whatever his name is, like y'all been watching this stuff all this time, like why take all this, like why now say, hey, well, y'all, we finna prosecute them now from 40 years ago. Like why it took you 40 years to do this?
Right. They definitely need to look into some type of limitations. Hey, do you have a TV in the background or is it like an echo?
Oh well, let me. Yeah, that's the TV in the back. I'm going to my room.
All right, let me meet you for a second. Yeah. So yeah. Thank you. Where did he go? Oh, Jashawn Richardson, thank you. He said, I'm out. I missed you because I'm blocked everywhere else, but you didn't block me. Respect. Yeah, I'm not going to block anyone for having their opinions just because they disagree with mine. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I was going to say I'm back too, but you can finish talking.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, but I kind of lost my train of thought. But like the power, like I said, like this, I don't know, like a lot of people saying like it's political. Like I feel like now, like streaming down the line, like well, you know what? I mean, I probably would say that it's political because okay, she indicted them in 2022, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, she indicted them in 22. 24 is when the new election gonna come up. And this can be her way of trying to show people like, hey, you see, I'm trying to fight for Fulton County, and I'm trying to get these people off the streets. And so like now it's leading into that term, but that Ashley Merchant, she's so bad, baby. She got so much. She's digging up so much stuff on y'all to where it's really Fanny, whatever her name is. You really is the bad person. Like you done made it seem like, oh, all these people doing this and they doing that, and I'm trying to clean up this and I'm trying to clean up that. No, you not, baby. You trying to get this. You've been stealing the money. You've been spending these folks' money, and you trying to use this and everything else as a way of like saying, oh, this where you spent the money at. You really is the bad person. And by you, then they say this trial costs like $1 million, almost like $1 million a month. I don't know where you went.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Okay, I can see you now.
Okay, there we
I
go.
said, but then they say this trial is like almost like $1 million a month.
I don't know the actual cost. Holly, that'll be crazy how expensive if that is the.
Yeah, I think was it Sylvia and them that said it, or
Maybe we can get some.
It was either Sylvia, the lead attorney. It was somebody. Like I heard somebody like one of the talkers like saying like it's no. I think for that courtroom, yeah, I think I did I think I did hear something about that. That it's costing like almost like $1 million a month, like close to that or something like that, for them to like have that courtroom.
Yeah, somebody else put in the chat. What's going on, Flesh of the God? Somebody else put in the chat 1.5. So maybe
yeah, like it's so if Fanny, Funny, whatever her name is, if they is like making ideas, and I want to speak on that too. If they is making ideas because they know they're not finna have all this money, or they're not trying to spend all of this money retrying this case. But
right
with Jeffrey, I don't know. I like the girl was saying, she was like, if I was him, I'd take the deal and just get a felony because all these resources and stuff like that. But one mistake can mess you up too. Just imagine, they say you can't be around guns. Of course your bodyguards and stuff have to have guns and stuff like that. You gonna have to be around this stuff, and like I think that's crazy. And then on top of that, if he take a plea deal, all these families can go after him for his money because he's admitting to what, you get what I'm saying? Even if he did it, if he didn't do it, these people gonna go after him for that victim's pay. So I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I think it'll be a bad idea. And then a lot of times you can't be around other people that have felony convictions.
Correct.
So you may not be able to perform with certain
people. Yeah. So I think,
rappers,
and what's his name? Marquavius Huey. He's not a felony neither. Remember when Carson Matthews, he said about him not being a felon, if he was selected to sit in the jury pool, he's able to do that because he's not a felony neither. So Thug and him are not felonies.
Well, that that's good to know, and it's interesting because if we can be a fly on the wall in the DA's office, I'm sure we will make our way in there.
I know I will.
We want to know what's going on.
I know I will. I'll be that fly right on the wall, just listening, and I ain't gonna. Well, I probably won't. I'll be a buzz and talking fly on the wall because if I hear something I don't like, I'll be saying something like, you're wrong for that, don't it? That'll be me. I'll be like, you're wrong for that, don't it? But them people, like, they don't care. Like, it's bad. It's bad. Like, and don't get me wrong. Like I say, I ain't trying to say like, hey, these people ain't did some of this stuff that y'all saying that they doing. But the thing about it is, everybody is due to a fair trial. Like, I don't care. Like, and this don't have nothing to do with this case. Let's go back to the Casey Anthony case. They know for sure she killed that child. They have evidence that she killed that child. And guess what? Those people found that girl not guilty. What's the lady name? Teresa. They just you remember they tried that case down in Fulton County. The lady had killed her son like 20-25 years ago and left him in the woods and was saying that he was sick and stuff like that.
See,
And
oh, go ahead, go ahead. I didn't know you were going.
no, what you were saying?
Now I'm gonna say jurors be so unpredictable. You never know what they're thinking and which way they may go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it can be the same thing for this case. Like, just because we on the outside looking like, oh no, yeah, Case Anthony. But we saying no, it's another lady, Teresa something too. It was a black lady. Was it Teresa Johnson or something like that? I don't know. But we on the outside looking in. We can have our inputs and be like, say allegedly, girl, before Casey sue you. Well, allegedly, Casey killed her child. I apologize. That's the truth. I'm gonna say allegedly. Allegedly for the Teresa lady, killed her child and left that child out in the woods. And the jury, they did not convict her because they said they did not know the dosage of how much dosage of the medicine that she gave to her child. So, with that being said, you're right. They're predictable. We don't know how they thinking and feeling in their head, because they might have a family member where somebody that did something to one of their family members, and they'll automatically think like, okay, this person guilty or whatever. So we really don't know. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure, if we had a chance to poll it and say if they weren't guilty, we'll all probably say that. But we don't know how those jurors think.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know what they might do.
We don't know, but I'm pretty sure we do know that they know the state is full of BS. Because every time it seems like they get somebody up off the street to testify, is always, oh, this like what? Probably like 3-4 people that said, is y'all gonna be done with the threats? Y'all gonna be done with the threats? Y'all threatening to lock me up if I don't come up in here? Like, that's not a good look on y'all.
I was trying to put somebody comment up, and I think I deleted it on accident. But I see one of my classmates was in the chat. Classmate, I'm gonna have to get with you. I don't know. The name didn't look familiar. I was trying to pull it up on the chat. But yeah, we coming up to our 5th year. In 2 days, it'll be 5 years for us in the practice of law. I remember those law school days. So thank you. It's always good to see some faces from school.
Didn't you say you was in Houston?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in Houston.
What part of Houston you in?
Well, I mean, I just say the whole area because we got this is social media.
Okay, cool.
What's
And
going
look,
on,
I was gonna say,
Brandy?
it's no way for me to send you like no private message. I'm in Houston too, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, you in the Houston area?
Yes, I stay in Houston. I stay like close. I ain't gonna put my address in it. I'm just saying.
Right. You in Houston.
Allegedly, I stay like
Houston.
close to like Katy Way. That's.
Oh, okay. Oh, you in a good area? Yeah.
I guess. As people say. Yeah, I don't stay in a bad area like this. I'm in a good area. The little uppity area, if you want to call it.
Right.
The bougie part.
Right.
But yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully we can get you back.
Okay, I'm gonna leave.
Maybe tomorrow, because we get some energy so we can be back tomorrow, because court might last all day. We don't know. Sometimes it'll be 8 hours, 9 and 10. So
well, hopefully when we get in it in the morning, I'm gonna make sure I go to bed tonight so I can wake up. Right. They okay, we're dismissing this case, and Jeffrey, you can be I don't know. I just don't want to say it like that neither, because I mean at the end of the day, that means these people ain't got no justice for their family members. So I don't know what I say.
Right, but the thing, it won't be dismissed forever. It'll be she's saying that the state will have a right to retry it. So the ball will be in their court if they.
But do you think they want to spend that money to retry it?
Yeah. That's what's going to be the,
That's the thing. It's the
yeah,
money.
yeah,
And you know what I say? Thank God. We don't pay state taxes down here in Texas.
right,
So
right,
I'm happy for that. Because I'll be mad as hell.
yeah,
I'll go move to another state. That's why I don't stay in, I'm from over in Alabama. That's why I don't stay there no more. I'm not gonna pay y'all no state taxes. No, I'm not.
yeah. That's the good thing about Texas. We don't have state tax.
Illinois neither.
Right.
But okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Talk to you
Hopefully we'll see
later.
you throughout the week. All right. Thanks.
Because
Have a
I
good
have
one.
you on here all day, all night, running my mouth.
No, you good. I'm trying to get
See you later.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.
All right, y'all. I know some people saying they want to come up. I don't know, because we was getting ready to shut it down. But thank y'all for who said they wanted to come up real quick. Oh, and shout out to my classmate. I remember you, section 1. Now section 2 was the best section. Come on now. And I think we actually proved that at the end of the term. We had to we took the test, and section 2 was number 1. But shout out to I'm glad you're doing well and you got your own law firm. You got your own. I see you. Come on. So I hope everything's well, and thank you for popping in on me. That's really kind of you to do that. It's always good to see. We're going to be, coming up to 5 years. I can't believe it's been that long since we've been in law school. So I'm glad that we in the law, we in the field, we practicing it, and now I'm even commenting on YouTube. So thank you for popping in. That's really kind of you, Brandy. All right. Who wanted to come up? We're gonna do this really quickly, like really quickly. Oh yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. It's really good seeing you. I go by, for the internet, I go by TalkThatLaw. It's a lot of, how the internet can be some people. But I'm glad you popped on, because some people, they get on, you a lawyer, when you go to school, you look too young. Trust me. I'll put in the work. Hopefully I can get some of my law school classmates and some of my clients to come on one day, the case that's closed, and would like to, give their take. All right, y'all, let me drop the link one more time. So anybody that got any last minute comments, y'all are welcome to do that so we can get out of here. We can go. Did it go? Oh, look at the poll. Let me see the poll. If I can find it, where the poll at? So out of 1,070 people that voted, 75% said take the mistrial now. 75% of y'all said take the mistrial. I don't know if y'all can see it if I hit end poll. Can y'all see the results? Can y'all see the results? Did it pop in the chat? 75%. Oh, okay. Chelsea said yes. Thank you, Chelsea. Nikki D, do you mind hitting your camera on real quick, like on and off, so I can? Okay, you good. All right, thank you. All right, what's going on?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I just want to hear from a lawyer's perspective of why is it that you cannot know that someone is in jail?
Because pretty much you have the presumption of innocence, and it would look bad if you come out in handcuffs or in chains. It almost tells the jury you're guilty already. And you must be guilty. The judge won't even let you out on bond. You have to have done something. It looks really bad. It almost looks as bad as sitting there in an orange jumpsuit or in stripes with chains on while you're having your trial. That's why the laws was changed way back in the day to where you can wear normal clothes, because the juries shouldn't get any inclination that you are guilty. And also it's bad character evidence that's coming in saying, hey, this person's in jail, they don't have a bond. It's bad character. So I think that it's inappropriate for people to comment on the defendants being in custody while the trial is occurring, even though the jury may be, let's be for real, they may be watching right now on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But legally, they should know these things. Let's say they're not watching, they should know these things, that defendants are in custody and been in custody for 3 years, man, I add.
Mm-hmm.
Not ever been convicted of a crime, which is crazy in of itself. So that's a
Yeah.
whole nother issue. But those are the main reasons defendants shouldn't be outed, if you will, as being in custody. And I
Okay.
believe the witnesses, lay witnesses, they really don't know any better. That's why Westmoreland said they should have prepped their witnesses. So I understand her position. But it wasn't even a week ago, you had a seasoned detective on the stand. He was
Correct.
doing the same thing, and he knows better. So I believe that's why the lawyers are saying, okay, enough is enough. I don't care
Yeah.
if it's
So,
accidental, intentional, we're done.
and then, so for the judge to say today that she doesn't believe that it's that impactful, that the jury has heard multiple times that multiple different defendants are in prison or were in prison. Now that you tell me that that's pretty a SOP, I mean, that's pretty a standard operating process, is that you don't do that. So it just seems odd now that you explain it to me that a judge is just looking over it like, oh, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. Yesterday, Detective Underwood, she had mentioned about Young Thug's search warrant, and that was thrown out. It was an illegal search warrant. So it just seems as though I'm not a lawyer and I don't play one on TV, but
Come on.
if we are just talking about just regular SOPs in legal standards, and you have a judge who is the highest jurist say, oh, it's not that impactful, when, like Mr. Matthews said, well, it just happened 45 minutes ago, and you didn't stop it or nothing was done about it. So at first I was like, okay, they bring up all the witnesses coming, they Fulton County Blues or they Cobb County Orange. So is that presidential? Like, if a witness comes up there with jail, Woody and Tick and what's the other one that was just up there a couple of weeks ago? Lil D.
Oh, Lil D, yeah.
They've all come up there in jail attire. So as juror 13, I mean, I would
Right.
just be, just at a logical standpoint, it would seem to me that some of this stuff is completely biased, especially now that you said that it's a standard operating, that you don't talk about them being in jail. Now that you said that no matter what someone has on, when you see these court reportings, they're never in jail clothes.
Right, and it's more
So
so the defendants, not the witnesses. The defendants, the witnesses don't have any jeopardy of going to jail, losing their life, or going to prison. So the witnesses can show up with what they want to show up in. And sometimes you have defendants that just won't cooperate, or they wear, like I think Derrick Brooks, he was in trial a few times with his orange clothes on, so he didn't care that the jury knew he was in custody. And I believe there's another trial that's going on right now, or that it was a trial by a judge. I forgot the facts of the case, but he had on orange and he had braids in his hair, and he also.
oh, I saw that with the guy
Yeah.
who killed his girlfriend. Well, not his girlfriend, but he said in self-defense.
Right, that's it. And it was a trial by a judge, so he really didn't care that that the judge knew he was in custody, because obviously she's the one setting the bond. So it would be ridiculous for him to try to hide the fact he's in custody from the person who has him in custody. And I believe, just to point out really quickly, I believe that the judge said that it was a whole lot of Quays. So the jury may not have known which Quay was who when he said free Quay. So I think that's what she said on that part. Like, they don't even know what Quay it is. So it shouldn't
Yeah.
matter.
it just, you know,
It's
I've
correct.
been
Yeah.
in my career for 10 years. You know what I mean? I don't have the whole world watching me, but I do work with, you know, regulation issues. So if I make a product and it gets to you or your kids, you know, it just seems like they don't really take it seriously that they're dealing with people's lives. Like the way that I've heard you on this stream multiple times saying, you know, the compassion that you have for your clients and how you wouldn't want somebody going through this and how you wouldn't just take a mistrial, you know, and your client goes back to jail, and just looking at a high overview, and the judge is like, well, it ain't that bad. Which way is it? Oh, whatever. You can say free somebody to a celebrity. So what? Whatever. Now you're like, no,
Right. That was strange. Right.
you're not
Yeah.
supposed to be so flippant about it. Like, no, you're here to, you know. But that was just my take on it. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you came up. I definitely appreciate it. I was getting ready to shut it down, and somebody said drop the link one more time. So thank you. I think we got like two more people back here.
Okay, well, I'll let you go.
Okay. Well, thanks you a lot, Nikki D.
Bye bye.
All right, bye. Brooklyn NYC. Wait a minute, who I just kicked out?
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Okay, got you.
Hold
Jess,
on.
you can go after her, Jess, if you don't mind.
Let me just make sure my YouTube is off.
Okay.
Okay, so I just had a quick question. So you know the people that were arrested for taking out Fulio, and they're not severing the cases, I guess, because I guess they all participated. But the girl, she requested a speedy trial.
Hey, hang on a second, please. Hey, Jess, I'm gonna let you go right after her. I just have you muted right now because it's feedback when two mics are unmuted. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
No, yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
So the girl, out of those defendants, she requested a speedy trial. The other ones didn't. The gentleman didn't. So the judge said, well, you have to, you know, it's just like it's the weakest link. You have to accommodate the, you know, the shortest term because she requested it. Why wouldn't they why wouldn't they sever it? And two, wouldn't that infringe on the other defendants to properly prepare their case? Their lawyers prepare?
Yeah, so you're talking about a separate trial?
Yeah, I'm gonna relate it to this one because I'm just bringing it up because in that case, the girl requested a speedy trial. Okay, forget all that.
Well, no, you're okay because every state is different as far as their procedures and their rules. But it will, you know, obviously if one girl is asking for a speedy trial and the other lawyers are not prepared, that could infringe upon their rights. So maybe that ground for an appeal in the future, saying, hey, we didn't have enough time. Just because she wanted a speedy trial, that don't mean we wanted one. The judge should have separated us. He should have served us. But since he didn't, we are disadvantaged and we didn't have a right to prepare. So we are deprived of a right of a fair trial. So I think that's a good argument for an appeal court if it comes to that. But how fast do you think they're going to have that trial?
Well, they scheduled it I think in November because one of the attorneys she goes to the congressional hearings and stuff. So it starts so they did a whole bunch of dates and it had to be before Thanksgiving, which was really quick. I'm only saying that to say Thug requested a speedy trial. So let's say that Paige grants mistrial without prejudice. Thug, let's say in the state can't prepare quick enough to present the case a second time. So it would be dismissed.
Well, the state, it's going to be in the ball is going to be in the judge's court, but I believe Thugger Dady listed some law. Let me see if I can pull it up really quickly.
Yeah, they cited it at the end of the hearing. That's what I was asking, because if that's the case, he could get off without even worrying about a second trial because they wouldn't be prepared to do it anyway.
And it goes on to say if the case in which a demand for a speedy trial has been filed as provided in this code section results in a mistrial, the case shall be tried at the next succeeding regular term of court. So I'm assuming the next term of court will be if they shall, and shall is an instructional word, not maybe or perhaps. It says shall be, must be tried at the next term. So who knows? Maybe the state can pull together if they cut down a lot of the witnesses, because a lot of their witnesses, truth be told, is unnecessary. So you really don't need all those witnesses. If they get back the main people before the next term of court, whatever that is, I believe they could pull it off. But I think Fonnie Willis is signaling to the defense right now, I don't want to do that. I don't have the money to do that. Can we work this out?
I'm sure. But here's the thing. Let's say all the defendants collude together and say, you know what, we're going to take this mistrial without prejudice and request a speedy trial. There's no way that they can present another case, another trial that quick against all the defendants. So if all the defendants agree, yes, we're going to take this mistrial. Even though I know the risk, I understand all that. But that they want a speedy trial, and they don't have the money or the time to prepare that quickly. So what would be the option? So the judge would dismiss it. Let's say the state is late and can't do it. What's the next step?
That's going to be an issue because the law, if it's quoted correctly from the Thugger Daily website, the Twitter account, if it says shall be and it's not done in that period,
right,
the judge allow it anyway, then she could be in violation and the appeals court might throw it out.
No, let's say the judge doesn't allow it. So then what happens? Like, is everything dismissed? Is it I try at a later date? What?
Well, according to that, what we just read, it says shall be. So if it's not done, it would seem by default that the case cannot go forward because you didn't do it within the time period, almost like a statute of limitations. You didn't do it and you knew the law to do it and you didn't. So now you waived it. So now you can't bring it anymore. So,
and when's the next?
Oh, and I'm not sure the next term of court.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll have to look into the terms that they have, but I don't think that's going to be the issue. That's not going to be the issue. I don't think the issue is probably going to be more so the finances and can they do it? Can they get some of these witnesses back in town? Because a lot of these witnesses came out of state. Like they flying in from different states, and it's costing a lot to get these people here.
I think it would be a better strategy if all the defendants either stayed together or took the mistrial together. Because if they all requested a speedy trial anyway, I think they put the states back up against the wall.
Right. That's an option. That's definitely an option. And some people said they burned a lot of bridges with the witnesses. Yeah, if the witnesses, they have to resubpoena them, but if they come back, they probably would not be happy. And a lot of the witnesses are probably fed up with this trial. They done.
My last comment is, imagine if you're a juror and the judge tells you we declare a mistrial. You spent 10, 11 months of your life and you don't even get the chance to see it to a conclusion. I would be so mad.
Yeah. They'll be upset. But I mean, what can they do?
Yeah.
They have to get that. I mean, they can go home and truth be told, they could have been got out of it when it was a long break, when they were switching judges. And said, "No, judge, I seen something online. It came across my phone. I can't be fair." They had a chance. They had a chance to get out. So I mean, they here because they want to be here at this point. Let me tell it.
That goes to show that they want to finish. They want to bring it to the end. They want to see it all the way through.
Right.
Now you get this far, and then the judge says, "Oh, mistrial." They would be disappointed.
Right. They still can get their book deals and movie deals because they still sat through this whole process as being a member of the first jury. So they still get their money if that's what they're concerned about. Not saying that's what it is.
Yeah.
But we're not going to discount that neither.
What happened to that clerk in that Alec
clerk,
the South Carolina case? The lawyer.
Oh, I'm not sure what went on with that. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I do know it was some issues with her supposedly and allegedly tampering with the jury.
With the jury, right?
Yeah, but I'm not sure what all went down with that. If she was disciplined or fired or what, but I think she's elected to that position.
The
So
clerk court. Oh,
yeah,
okay. Well, thank
normally
you for
clerks are
listening.
elected. Okay, yes, well, thank you for coming up. Thank you
Have a
so
good night.
much. All right, you too.
Bye bye.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for hanging in here with us. Let's see if we- Okay. So yeah, do y'all think they're gonna take a deal? Who knows? I don't know. I need to figure out what's going on with Fonnie Willis. What did you saying in that office? Don't you got a birthday party to be at tonight? Isn't it tonight, y'all? Isn't her thing tonight? What's today? The 23rd? Let's see. I thought it was tonight. Maybe not. Maybe I got it mixed up. But I wonder if she's trying to offer plea deals, because if she's trying to do that, that's going to be interesting. And, will the defendants take it? Let's see something right quick. I'm going to let y'all go because I know y'all been here all day, not here specifically, but YouTube. And I know y'all tired. Y'all ready to go. All right, y'all. It do say that thing. Do say they say birthday celebration October 23rd. Birthday tip off at State Farm Arena, and it's 6:30 right now. And then Thursday, obviously, he having a lunch at a private home. And then after that, I guess they going to Tyrese, I don't know, house. So yeah, she got a lot going on. She gonna be late today. Somebody said she gonna be late today. LaShawn say no deals. Deal or no deal. LaShawn, no deal. Good seeing you, LaShawn. Somebody said, who taking Paige to lunch? I guess she wants to go with her brother. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let me go. She gonna be at Zoom on her own party. Thank y'all so much for popping in. I do plan on jumping back on tomorrow to see. I mean, we might as well see this thing through, see what the end gonna be. Thank y'all so much for supporting the stream. I see y'all. All right. I'll see y'all for sure. I see y'all. All right, we got Blue Skies. Trakisha, Miss Jane, Kevin, Miss Jane again. Dear World Christian, always supporting the channel. Thank you so much. Definitely appreciate it. And to everybody that liked and subscribed, the new people, all of y'all, thank y'all so much. The people that gave on Cash App, thank y'all. Let me go. Let me see. Trial, statutes, and time to defend the man. Okay, which I died the next term. Starts Monday. Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. We know the judge is going to side with the state. Do not act surprised. I'm not going to act surprised. Thank you. Be it tomorrow. All right. Thank y'all so much. Definitely appreciate all y'all. But before I go, let me give my legal disclaimer. No legal advice intended. I'm a lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer. I'm just here to talk that law. So thank all of y'all, and I see y'all on tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Let's go.